Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. In this one I'm going to be taking a look at the new Archaludon decks from the set Surging Sparks. So what does Archaludon EX do? Well, it's a 300 HP stage 1 metal type Pokemon, so very bulky. Has the ability Alloy Build that says when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may attach up to 2 basic metal energy cards from your discard pile to your metal Pokemon any way you like, and then its only attack is Metal Defender, which for 3 Metal Energy does 220 damage, but during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon has no weakness. So you can indeed mitigate pesky fire weakness from the likes of Saraluge and Entei that Charizard happens to be playing. So yeah, very strong card overall. I've also got Surfer on the left here. Now, Surfer does not actually feature in any of his lists, I know, shock horror. But I did think Surfer was worth mentioning because if you're like me, you might misclick with the ability Alloy Build and you might want to switch out. So, just bear in mind that Surfer is there as a nice new draw option if you fancy experimenting with switch and draw power. But yeah, I just thought it was worth mentioning. But yeah, this first list we have here is a Archaludon Dunsparce build, and really there's nothing too crazy about this list except of course Dunsparce. And the Dunsparce itself is not gonna lie, it's a pretty good draw engine, but I wouldn't say it's as consistent as Bibarel most of the time. However, the Dunsparce does have the nice fact that, it's less likely to be able to gust up basically and sit there and collect dust basically and allow your opponent to play the game while you just sit there and you can't move the Dunsparce. So, this list is also playing no switch cards. I've just realized that. Okay, I would personally remove trekking shoes and add some switches in here. I do think switches are necessary, especially if you're playing the likes of Radenkanth, but maybe this player wasn't too fussed about boss stall strategies. But yeah, definitely something to bear in mind if you're planning on playing this list. But yeah, I do think it's a pretty solid one overall. Then we have a Saraluge variant, and you can attack with Saraluge if you really want to. There is Fire Energy in this deck. But I guess the main synergy here is to try and bin a load of energies, attack with Saraluge in the early game, and then basically recycle those energies with Archaludon, well, the Metal Energy at least, and attack with him that way. But as it stands, I don't believe you can use Saraluge's second attack, which is for a Fire Metal Psychic. So, yeah, that's something to bear in mind actually. Maybe with Luminous Energy that would be possible in this list, but aside from that, the only other noteworthy thing about this list and why it's kind of crazy in my opinion is the 3 Pokemon catcher. Was that necessary? Probably not. You could add like counter catcher really, some more bosses orders. Maybe Pokemon catcher is secretly busted and everyone but Japan hasn't worked that out yet. But it's certainly a choice, that's for sure. But definitely not a choice I would make. But it's still an interesting list for sure. Then we have a Dialga V-Star variant. Now, personally, I'm not sold on Dialga V-Star as a deck in a whole, so this one's going to be a bit of a shaky review for sure. Also, 4 Pokemon Catcher and things like 2 Pokegear, no switches again. This has got a lot of red flags in my opinion, but it's still kind of cool, right? And you've got Scoop Up Cyclone to pick up one of your Pokemon if you really want to, but yeah, really not my cup of tea, to be honest. Then we have Zamazenta V-Star, which, again, not my cup of tea, but one thing that's really cool about this list is that it's leaning into the whole, make your Pokemon even tankier in both Zamazenta's V-Star power, but also the likes of Rigid Band. So major props on that front, and no Pokemon catcher in this one, so major thumbs up there, but yeah, again, not really my cup of tea, but I did think it was worth mentioning. Then we have an Orthworm variant. Now, personally, I don't think Orthworm's a very good card, and then we can just end the review right there. But it's an interesting list for sure, and if you happen to be a major fan of Orthworm, then this list is here for you. Also, there's no Pokemon catcher, so you automatically get my respect. So, no Pokemon catcher, just counter catcher, switches, lovely to see. It's really ironic that this list is not playing Pokemon catcher when all the other ones are, and it's Orthworm of all things, but yeah, this exists. Orthworm's not the best, but still kind of funny. But yeah, thank you for watching. It's been a kind of a brief overview of Archaludon. I'm personally kind of looking forward to trying this guy out. But yeah, do let me know what you think down below. And yeah, thank you for watching.